Ben Shapiro. Pretty famous guy, pretty smart guy, and a lot of issues these days. But, you know, politically, he's pretty savvy. You know, what's happened with the Daily Wire. We've seen what's happened with Candace. It's out there. So his content has sort of changed a little bit. I've never really heard about Ben Shapiro talking about how to make that money.
Yeah.
But here's Ben Shapiro basically saying, oh, me? You want to know how I made my first $1 million a year? Well, let me give you a little advice of what you could do to make $1 million a year. So here's this clip about Ben Shapiro's journey. Listen up.
That wasn't something that I wanted to do. And what I realized very quickly is that the sweet spot in terms of money making for me was going to be to find the combination of things I like to do, things that I am good at, and things people are willing to pay me for. Most people get 2 out of the 3. That will not take you to $1 million a year in income. So you have to have all 3 of those elements. So I just got engaged with my wife.
Gotcha.
We had put a down payment.
So he goes on
condo.
to tell this story about you got to have 3 things in order to make this kind of money. Now, you might be saying, dude, I'm not trying to make $100 million a year. I'm trying to make 100 grand a year. Cool. There's levels to this game. But there's actually a system that we can talk about here. He said there's a 3-step system. I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say Ben Shapiro probably took some of his advice from the great Japanese school of thought. Before I show you that, here's what Ben Shapiro had to say. He said the sweet spot for making money are the following 3 things. Number 1, things I like to do, things I'm good at, and most importantly, probably,
what people pay you for.
Things that people are willing to pay me for. Because if no one's willing to pay you, then it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
So things I like to do. All right, I like this. This is something I like. I like it. Cool. Things I'm good at. All right. So things I like to do, that's a passion. Cool. Things I'm good at, that's actually talent. Willing to pay me for, that's money. So those 3 things, passion, talent, and money. You know, we had this conversation the other day. Should you follow your passions or should you follow the money? Well, the answer is follow your talents, and your talents will lead you to where your passions and your money intersect. Right, Nati Nati?
Yes.
I didn't make this up. I'm not going to take the credit for it, nor do I think that Ben Shapiro made up that and he's taking credit for it. Now, here's what I will say. There's something in Japanese called ikigai.
Ikigai.
Say it out loud.
Ikigai.
That's right. It's a Japanese concept.
Meaning reason for being.
Reason for being. Allow me to be your Miyagi-san.
Miyagi-san.
Have you ever seen the movie Karate Kid?
Yes.
Okay. In Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah.
Daniel-san.
Mr. Miyagi.
He found a mentor that taught him how to fight for himself and taught him how to basically use certain rules and concepts and guidelines, the crane as an example, to succeed in life. Now, in his life happened to be karate, but your life is most likely going to be work. Now, here's what ikigai recommends. So ikigai, Nat, what's on the top?
Love.
What you love. So what you love to do.
Yes.
Now, part of what you love to do is part of passion
and mission. Right.
All right. Now, if you go in a circle here.
Yeah.
So going clockwise. What you love. What's to the right of that?
Mission, and then what the world needs.
What the world needs. So that's part of the excitement and complacency, but a sense of uncertainty. That's kind of what's going to happen when what the world needs. What am I doing? It's in conjunction with what you love, what the world needs. Okay, cool. Now, there's only 4 parts of this. What you love, what the world needs,
what you can be paid for.
What you can be paid for. So that's pretty important. Are people willing to pay you for what your talents are? And then the last but not least is what, Nat?
What you're good at.
What you're good at. So, you know, this 3-prong process, I always say the rule of 3, everything in 3s, where your passion meets your money, which your talent. Ikigai, there's actually a thing. It's sort of a 4-part concept. Focus on what you love to do, your passions, what the world needs. So be on a mission to figure out, listen, how can I help the world?
Right.
That's your job, your vocation. What you can be paid for, right? Are people willing to pay me for this? Right. Your profession. And actually what you're good at.
Yeah.
Your talents. And in the middle of all that, it is called what, Nat?
Ikigai.
Your ikigai. So if you're lost right now, you're like, dude, I'm trying to figure out where to go in life. I'm trying to figure out how to make some money. Go ahead, use this template to figure out what you're good at, what you love to do. what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. That, my friends, is your ikigai. Go out and tell them I found you. Now, one last thing. We talked about work-life balance. No matter what you do, if you ever want to have success, if you ever want to have major money in your life, the work-life balance can never be 50-50. Right. I talk about having 80-20 work-life balance, where 80% of the time I'm working, I'm hustling, I'm interacting, I'm socializing. What do I say when we go out on the weekends? Yo, we're out here. We're out here networking.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about work in the room. They talk about work it, girl, RuPaul.
Yeah.
You better work.
You better work.
Like Rihanna said.
Work.
Let me see you work. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with earning. But if you want to actually have a work-life balance that actually leads to success, the work is going to have to be a larger percentage than the life.
Right.
And then when you work and you earn, of course, save that money. Whoa. If you like that one, click right here to watch the full SOSCAST. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.